Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, October the 13th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and I share my screen all day long, and I'm live on the mic between 9 a.m. and most of the time near 4 p.m. Sometimes I knock off a little early, maybe about 3:30, but for argument's sake, let's just say 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And if you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, you can use this, type this into your browser, click on it, and you'll be taken to a subscription page, and you will find a promo code there. All right, and don't forget, next week, Monday to Friday inclusive, is our open house. By that I mean you will have access to Trade Ideas, the full version of Trade Ideas, live data, streaming, the whole bit. Everything we have to offer, what we call TI Premium, and you'll see a link in the text of this YouTube, and click on that, and you can sign up for it. All right, well, today was a very slow day. For me anyway. Could not really, there were not a lot of, first of all, the market was down a lot. And when we looked at Holly today, there were 9 long strategies and 2 short strategies that had been optimized for today. So with the market gapping down immediately, obviously we were not going to get a lot of long, well, at least we shouldn't get a lot of long trades triggering with the market down so much. So, and even though we did see some short trades triggering, and I'll show you one of them that I did take, just not a lot of continuation, a lot of choppy action. So let's take a look at PNC though. That is one that I did take as a short. And the actual, let's see, I'm going to just bring it up here. Just one second. Gotta find it on my other monitor. Okay, so here was the short price to short at 87.78. You see in the blue right there, it's hard to see. Well, 87, I'm pointing with my fingers if you can see that. 87.78 on the y-axis, and there was the stop at 88.13. So this was the candle in which the alert happened. So it would have been right around here. So, and this is one that has been optimized extremely well. The win percentage is about 80, and the profit factor is around 8. This is that wait until 8 that's been basically showing up every day for the last 2 to 3 weeks. So anyway, I decided to take this short. Got into the short at 87.73, right about here. And it did get down to 87.32. I sold some out, covered some at 87.56 and 87.45. So not bad, but here's what I'm talking about. Here's the chop. Instead of a nice continuation down, even with a little consolidation and then a continuation, this was sort of the chop action that I saw in a lot of trades. So yes, made decent money on this one, but not really great continuation. Now, I should point out, this is one that I was swinging from yesterday. Not going to beat myself up. I got in here at 209, right here, right around here at 209 yesterday. Swung it, hit a high of 233. Really probably should have taken some out. This is the 200-day. Decided not to. Held it overnight. It was up to 216, still didn't do anything. And I had said yesterday that if it broke down below 2, I would get out. I saw at one point the bid was 199, so I decided to get out at 199 just before this candle. So that was a good exit. I lost a dime. Really should have taken some out here. I'm in at 209 and it hits 233. Really should have probably taken half my position out. Just didn't want to. I know I looked at the daily on this, and that's why I got into it in the first place. I saw this nice big void, and I just decided that, okay, I wanted to hold it. Was looking maybe to get up into the 250s before I got rid of some. But anyway, just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But I will look at it again. It's still, the pattern is still kind of the same. I think that there was some negative news came out, and that's why it dove down like that. Back to the 15-minute. Okay, the other one that I took that worked out was okay. I actually traded it both ways. JCI. I noticed this one on, I had a little window that was set up to show stocks that were really starting to move down, especially on a 5 minute period. And I ended up taking this short right here. I'll put a mark there, horizontal line, 43.39. It really went all the way down to 42, broke down through 42.88. I covered some right around here at 43.19, covered some at 42.98, and then when it popped back up, I covered some more at 43.05. I actually did end up taking this long again. I took this long right on this action here, and sort of scalped it out in this area. But again, pretty choppy action. Um, that was that one. BCRX. This was a Holly trade, and it is sort of. I mean, the alert was at. Let's see, the alert was at 4:15, way early. Look at these topping tails. So I did ended up taking the trade at 4:14. Can't remember exactly when. All I do know is that probably on this candle here is where I got stopped out. Yeah, I'm sure it was this candle here. Got stopped out, or maybe it was here, but I got stopped out at 410. Again, the market really wasn't conducive to going long, and this might work later on. I mean, it might work later on, but the market just was not conducive to going long today. So, and IBB, the sector in which the biotech sector, even though it did have a bounce, but look at this. Look at the daily chart. This is the again the sector, the biotech sector ETF. A little while ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, it was flirting with 300. It made it over 300, and that looked like a good sign. It was on a steady uptrend. Now look at it, is just real. It's giving up this area. It actually touched down here. I think in the pre-market, it actually got down to here. But just tough to you have to respect the sectors that some of these stocks are in. And even though a BCRX is small, and I'm sure it's not tremendously influenced by the IBB, still people look at the overall sector and they see, okay, this is a pharma. What's the ETF doing? Not great. And that's maybe why it just had no follow through whatsoever. Area was the same thing, and Area, because I did take this one also, and again it was a Holly trade or a Holly alert. 15 minute. And I was somewhat proud of myself because here's where the alert happened. This is the time it happened, all right? And the alert was at $12.90. So number one, I always usually wait. If something is that close to a whole number, I usually wait for a break of the whole number. Notice it broke right there and it came right back down. And I waited on it again, and I ended up then taking the trade finally. This was a long time to wait, but I ended up taking the trade at 1304. Now, all of a sudden, this started happening. I thought, great. Now, remember, this is a red candle now, but this was green at one point, and with a high there. Again, I guess I should have taken some off here. I didn't. I was, looking at this. Here's yesterday's action. Thought I might be able to fill up into this area here. Maybe get up to 325. A little bit of a shelf there. It already broken through this little shelf. So I thought maybe it could get up to this area. Just didn't happen, and I basically closed out the trade flat. Sold it where I bought it. So. And that is GST. Now, GST, this is, again, I'm not going to kick myself, but this was one that came on from my price alerts. This is something that I had set. Don't even know when I set it, but I'd set this price alert because if you look at the daily chart, I'd set the price alert right at 115. See these tops right there? They're right around I think they're right at 115. So now I've erased the alert, so that's why you don't see it. But at one point, there was a red dotted line right there, so right at 115. So I ended up taking the trade. Waited a little bit, took the trade at 118, and I'm thinking of swinging it. Again, look at the gap here. There's no guarantee it's going to fill this gap, and I've said. Because if you look at the 15-minute chart, I've said I will get out of the trade at 110. It looks like there's a little. Remember, these are 15-minute candles, so that's about an hour, almost an hour's worth bottoming here at 110. So as long as it holds 110, I'll probably hold the trade, and that would be intraday. And I was always thinking, of course, that if it went down below $1, I would get out for sure on a swing. But intraday, if it broke down through 110, I would probably get out of the trade. And again, I did not take. Well, again, I'm in at 118, so going up to 123 wasn't that big a deal. But anyway, we'll see. We'll just have to see. And the market is it is what it is. I don't mind taking these sort of risks. Usually a fairly tight stop. And if I'm going to swing something, I always, if I'm going to swing something, the share size that I take is always going to be bearing in mind that I may be swinging it. So, I usually lighten up the load a little bit. So we'll see what happens with this one tomorrow, and actually for the rest of the day. And that is about it. We'll get back to the room. You never know. Maybe things will start to pick up. We might get a big SPY rally. I mean, the SPY has rallied a little bit, but I'd like to see it. I mean, look, we're down 79 right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up positive. And if that happens, that means that a lot of these stocks that we're looking at right now, including some of the bios, that ARIA and the BCRX, they may start to pop. All right. Well, again, just want to remind you, this is the address to get into the room. Usually open the room at about 8:45. That's when we start looking at the pre-market data. Check out to see which stocks are moving in the pre-market and which ones we might want to follow. There was one, now OCUL. We actually thought that one might be a good one for the day. Let me see if I can just want to bring up the chart. Oh, I closed it down. Okay, well, let me just bring up another chart. You'll see what we're looking at here for OCUL. Just 1 second. Okay, I have to do this on the other monitor. Otherwise, when I click, sometimes it just disappears behind. So let me just get this out here on this other monitor that, of course, you cannot see. Okay, so this is what we saw in the pre-market. This is where it closed yesterday, 632, and look at the gap up. I mean, this is the pre-market action. This pink is pre-market, so it gapped all the way up to 851, pulled back a little bit, but of note, this is no, that's not correct. I don't know why the line is there because I don't know why that line is there. This is probably oh, I know why. This is something that what happened is Trade Ideas quit on me. I had to reload, but the 200-day moving average is about right here at 784. So let me just put a mark there. That's the 200-day moving average. So this had a lot of things going for it. It had popped through the 200-day moving average. The actual news, this was the only caveat, as I said in the pre-market. The news was that they had signed some kind of a deal with our REGN, Regeneron, I think the name of the company is, and with a potential of $350 million going to them. And it wasn't like an infusion of $350 million right now. It was a potential deal or a deal with them that could potentially lead to $350 million. So you have to always take that with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, it had popped through the 200-day, and I was waiting to see if this would pop through 8. Notice well, sorry, in the once the market opened. Notice that it did, got all the way up here. Excuse me, but it was very quick. It came right back down, and it really never got up over 8 again, and it just basically faded for the rest of the day. So this one was kind of a disappointment in that we really thought that, okay, market is not good. The ETF sector is not, or the ETF for the sector is not good. But maybe the news, people are going to look for, okay, what is the strong stock for the day in the sector? Maybe, and I thought maybe this one could be the one. If it got over 8 again, I was probably going to take it. But anyway, didn't work out. But didn't lose anything because I never took the trade. All right, that is it for today. Went on a little bit longer than I thought. Again, and that's why. I know why. I was saying that we opened the room at 8:45, and that's where we saw that one. So anyway, didn't quite work out the way we had hoped. All right. Well, listen. Thanks very much for listening, and hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye bye.